Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to this video. It is nice to see you again. Today, we are going to learn to identify mechs from different boxes. We are not going to cover mechs from miniature force packs, only miniature mechs from beginner box, a game of armored combat and clan invasion boxes. Before starting to analyze boxes, let us see the larger picture of how mechs work. A mech is defined by a trade-off between armor, speed, and firepower. This will define the strengths and weaknesses of mechs. You need to recognize that for each mech in order to use your mech appropriately. Mechs use three types of weapons: ballistic, missiles, and energy weapons. Ballistic weapons depend on bullets or ammunition in general. Machine gun, autocannons, and other similar weapons are part of this category. Missiles are rockets that are launched towards a target. There are systems to improve the accuracy to achieve more impacts on a target. Energy weapons use sheer power to blast and melt enemy armor and cause damage. A rule of thumb is that you fire your direct fire weapons first, or in other words, ballistic and energy weapons first. That will punch holes in the enemy armor. And then you will fire missiles, and some of them could hit the holes left by the previous weapons to get inside and cause internal critical damage. So now you know how to use your weapons. Mechs have some roles that help to understand how to use these mechs. These are just reference terms to help players, and these are not rules on how to use them. Players are free to use their mechs in whatever way they want. Ambushers have high firepower, low armor, and low speed. They are effective in double-blind or hidden deployment games. In regular games, they're slow but very heavily armed at the expense of armor. You need to be careful when using them. The best use for ambushers is to stay hidden, and when enemy approaches, show up and attack. Some ambushers will need protection from other mechs to retreat if they deplete their ammunition. Brawlers have heavy armor and short-range weapons. They are heavy troopers, they are tough and have a good mix of long and short-range weapons. They do more damage with their weapons the closer they get. Use them for short-range encounters. Juggernauts are similar to brawlers, but bigger, slower, and tougher. Often, these are command units. They can have a role in holding ground for objective missions, or even putting pressure on a flank in a straight shoot-up game. Juggernauts are the most armored mechs of all. They will batter down your opponent because your opponent will have to concentrate 2 or 3 units on firing on it to bring it down. Juggernauts are big units that can take punishment. Juggernauts pick a point on the map and walk at it trading fire. They have high armor and threatening close range damage, but are less maneuverable than brawlers. A missile boat is a sniper with long-range missiles, also called LRM, and they can use direct or indirect fire. Most of the longest-ranged weapons in this game are missiles, so they have the greatest ability to hit you from far away. Most of them are all about long-range fire support. Missile boats work better if you can get a direct shot. The indirect fire penalties are pretty harsh unless you have advanced equipment like NARC, which emits a beacon that attracts missiles, or TAG that puts a laser beam to designate the target. Mechs will need to be equipped with missiles capable of interacting with NARC or TAG systems. Ideally, to place your missile boat, you need to find a hex of woods with good sight lines to stand in and shoot from there for a while. Then you move to a different spot as needed. If you have a turn where you do not have line of sight, or what you can see would be too hard to hit, check your Gator target numbers and remaining ammo to see if indirect fire would be worth it. Scouts have high speed, low armor, and armament. Scouts will often have the specialized gear that allows them to support other units, like NARC beacons or TAG laser designators. They are also likely to be ECM carriers, equipped with electronic countermeasures. Just like ambushers, scouts are most useful in double-blind or hidden deployment games. Fast, lightly armed and armored, and meant to find things and then get the hell out of there. They are also good to spot for indirect fire from missile boats or artillery. Use a scout as spotter, and when bigger mechs are engaged in combat, use a scout to go around and then backstab the enemy in the rear if you can. In narration games, they carry specialized equipment like probes, ECM, NARC, TAG, and others. They are usually not suited for conventional combat. Skirmishers have balanced speed, armor, and firepower. Skirmishers are light troopers, and you will usually have a lot of them. Their job is to get somewhere quickly with enough guns and enough armor to hold that point until something heavier, like a brawler or juggernaut, can arrive to support them. Skirmishers are fast, pretty well armed and armored, good for making first contact with the enemy and keeping them busy while brawlers and juggernauts move in for the kill. Skirmishes are mobile units that want to stick to medium range and harass targets or hunt light mechs. Skirmishers have good medium range damage and have the mobility and armor to maintain pressure and presence during longer fights. A striker is basically a light skirmisher. They have enough guns to punch above their weight class, but they don't have the armor to back it up. Strikers can harass flanks or provide the hammer to something else's anvil, but they do not hold territory for long unless they totally outclass the opposition. A striker is a slower, better armed and armored version of scouts. These are the ones you want to have to backstab enemies. Strikers are fast and want to get in close with short-range firepower. Strikers have high speed and short-range damage, but relatively low armor. They get in to make high-damage attacks against priority targets with the intention of trading up if killed. Snipers use direct fire to cause long-range damage. PPC boats, Gauss rifle carriers, are examples of snipers. To use a sniper, stay away from the enemy and shoot from the distance. Now that we understand the roles of mechs, let's analyze each mech. Let us start with the beginner box mechs. In this video, I will cover only a few variants of each mech that are part of Wave 1 or Wave 2 of the 2020 Kickstarter. Let us start with the Griffin. The GRF-1N has 5 MP to walk, 8 to run, and 5 to jump. It means this is a jump-capable mech using jump jets. All the variants of the Griffin we will cover are jump-capable. In terms of notation, we usually describe movement using these 3 numbers. So we would say the Griffin has 585 movement. The GRF-1N has one LRM-10 that sends volleys of 10 missiles each time it fires. LRM stands for long-range missile, which is great for long-range attacks, but for very short range, it is very inaccurate. The PPC is a particle projection cannon that is great for long-range attacks, but not very accurate for short range. PPC is an energy weapon. Using the rule of thumb, if you fired both weapons, you first would fire the PPC, which is a direct fire weapon, and then the LRM missiles. The GRF-1S has one LRM-5 with a 5 missile volley per shot. It has one large laser which does similar damage when compared to a PPC, but does not have a minimum range, which makes it more effective at short-range distance. And it has 2 medium lasers. These lasers are energy weapons. The GRF-1DS has one LRM-20, which launches 20 missiles per shot. It also has one large pulse laser. Pulse laser fires many laser beams in rapid succession, heating more and causing more damage. The GRF-3M has one LRM-20, a small laser, and an extended range PPC. ER stands for extended range. Remember, the Griffin is a skirmisher, which advances somewhere quickly with enough guns and enough armor to hold that point until a heavier mech takes their place. The Vindicator is a brawler, which does more damage with its weapons the closer it gets. The Vindicator is a jump-capable mech with 464 and one variant with 585 movement. The VND-1R has limitations due to minimum range of the LRM and PPC. These issues are compensated in the VND-1S IC variant that has a large laser instead of PPC, and the LRM-10 hits harder. The VND-1X has a machine gun that makes it especially useful to attack infantry. The VND-1AA variant is similar to the VND-1R, except that it can move more and is known under the nickname of Avenging Angel. Now let us cover mechs from the game of Armored Combat Box. The default version, the awesome AWS-8Q, has 3 PPC and 1 small laser. There is no need to say why it is called a sniper. Those PPC are really dangerous. It is not jump capable, and it is slow with 350 movement. The AWS-9M variant has more movement with 460, but still it is not jump capable. It has a small pulse laser, 3 extended range PPC, 1 medium pulse laser, and 2 streak SRM-2. Streak missiles work different than other missiles. They need to lock on the target. Other missile systems can miss the target. The streak system does not miss. Either it hits and fires the missiles, or it does not fire at all. It means that if the to-hit roll shows that the hit failed, what it really means is that the streak missile was not locked on and did not fire the missiles, so ammunition is not spent. The Awesome is a big mech, and the bigger the mech, the more kicks and punches hurt the enemy. Weight is very important when it comes to physical attacks. The Battlemaster is another brawler, which does more damage with its weapons the closer it gets. You will notice that in each variant there are 2 medium lasers showing an R letter. It means that these weapons point to the rear firing arc of the mech. Yes, this mech can fire backwards. If you plan to backstab this mech, you could be shot by its rear weapons. Equipped with a machine gun, this mech is very effective against infantry. Movement is 460 for both variants, and the only difference is that BLR-3M has an extended range PPC instead of the standard PPC, and that trade-off comes at a price of having 1 less machine gun. It is also a big mech, and kicks and punches may hurt the enemy significantly. The Catapult is a sniper, which means that it is better at shooting from the distance. The CPLT-C1 variant has 464 movement, so it is jump capable. It has 2 LRM-15 that hit from the distance. As the mech approaches the enemy, it has 4 medium lasers to defend itself. It is a very capable mech that can pose a danger at any distance. The CPLT-K2 trades 2 lasers for machine guns, making it more suitable to fight against infantry, and has 2 PPC that can hit distant targets. It is not jump capable with 460 movement. The CPLT-K2K also is not jump capable with 580 movement, and it belongs to the clan invasion era. It is equipped with 2 extended range medium lasers and 2 extended range PPC, more effective as a sniper. The Commando is a striker, and its COM-2D variant has 690 movement, which is not jump capable. It is equipped with SRM missiles. SRM stand for short-range missile. SRM-6 launches 6 missiles per shot, and SRM-4 launches 4. The weaponry of this mech packs quite a punch for its size. The COM-3A variant is equipped with a flamer that is very useful against infantry, and it can heat enemy mechs just a little bit, but not too much. And it has SRM-6 missiles. The COM-3S belongs to the clan invasion era and has SRM-6 with Artemis 4 systems to improve missile accuracy. It also has Streak SRM-2 that needs a lock to fire the missiles. The Locust is a scout with 812 movement, very fast if you ask me. But also it is very fragile with very little armor like any scout. The LCT-1E has 2 medium lasers and 2 small lasers, very lightly armed. The LCT-3S has 1 medium laser and 2 Streak SRM-2 missiles that require lock to fire. The LCTV has 2 machine guns against infantry and 1 medium laser. And the LCT-3D has only 2 LRM-5. Once ammunition is depleted, it will remain unarmed and it better retreats and escapes from the battlefield. The Shadowhawk is a skirmisher with 583 movement, which makes it jump capable. It is a subject of controversy among players because the SHD-2H variant is too lightly armed for its weight class and does not pack a good punch. The SHD-2D2 variant is a bit better armed. The Thunderbolt is a skirmisher, and it is one of the best mechs that have been designed in terms of how much punch it packs for its weight class. The TDR-5S offers quite a variety of weapons to choose for different ranges, as well as direct fire and missile weapons in the menu. It can even fight against infantry with its machine guns. This variant has 460, and it is the only variant among those shown here that is not jump capable. The TDR-5 SE and TDR-9 SE are similar, jump capable, and the only difference is the large laser in one variant versus large pulse laser in the other variant. The TDR-7M also offers a good assortment of weapons to choose between direct fire and missiles, as well as different ranges. And it can fight against infantry too. The Wolverine is a skirmisher. All these variants are 585 except for the WVR-7D that uses a device called MASC, or Myomer Accelerator Signal Circuitry, that can accelerate a mech, but it may cause damage because leg actuators are not designed to embrace the stress this equipment induces on the mech. The WVR-6M uses energy weapons for direct fire, while WVR-6R uses energy and ballistic with the AC-5, also known as Autocannon 5. An autocannon is an automatic gun that fires large-caliber shells at high speeds. Variants WVR-7D and WVR-7K belong to the clan invasion era. WVR-7D improves the WVR-6R variant by turning the autocannon into an ultra-autocannon and turning the medium laser into a medium pulse laser. Ultra-autocannon is an advance in autocannon technology that seeks to boost the weapon's damage per second, or DPS, by increasing rate of fire. The WVR-7K variant focuses on direct fire weapons instead of missiles. Now let us go for the clan invasion box mechs. Those mechs we described before belong to the inner sphere. They were fighting in the Succession Wars, but in the year 3050, an invader force with superior technology, composed by people who lived outside the inner sphere in exile for 300 years, posed a challenge for the inner sphere mechs. This invasion was known as the clan invasion. Let us review the mechs included in this box. Clans use a different notation for variants. They have a prime variant, and then other variants use a letter from the alphabet. So you have prime, A, B, C, and so on. Also, clan mechs have names of animals that exist their native worlds, but they also have a name given by people from the inner sphere. This is why some clan mechs have two names. When clans invaded, there was little or no communication with the invaders, so inner sphere mech warriors gave these mechs their own name. This is how the Puma also responds to the name of Adder. All variants shown here have movement 690. The Adder is a sniper. The prime variant of the Adder has a targeting computer that can interact with other weapons to improve aiming. It also has a flamer against infantry and 2 ERPPC. Variant A has a flamer, 2 small pulse lasers, and 2 LRM-20. Variant B has flamer, ER medium laser, large pulse laser, and LBX-5 autocannon. The LBX autocannon is an advanced variation of the standard autocannon. Its most notable feature was its ability to fire cluster munitions, creating a shotgun-like effect. There is disagreement about the origin of the acronym LBX. Some people say LB stands for Lublin Ballistics, the original designer and manufacturer of the weapon. Others say it stands for Light Barrel Extended Range, and others say it means Large Bore Extended. Elemental battle armor is considered as infantry, but they wear battle armor outfit. This battle armor has a battle claw in the left hand and a small laser in the right arm. They also are equipped with SRM-2 missiles that are located over the shoulders. They have 1 MP to walk and 3 to jump. The Gladiator, also known as the Executioner, is a sniper with 464 movement and MASC. Prime variant is equipped with machine gun against infantry, ER large lasers that can hit distant targets, and a Gauss rifle. The Gauss rifle utilizes a series of electromagnets to propel slugs of ferrous nickel iron alloy at extremely high velocities, making it a devastating and lethal long-range weapon. One hit from a Gauss rifle is capable of killing nearly any light mech. The Gauss rifle does not use anything explosive as propellant for the munition composed by solid metal slugs, so its firing generates very little heat. However, if the Gauss rifle itself is hit by enemy fire, the capacitors that power the electromagnets will release their stored energy, with an effect similar to an ammo explosion. Variant A of the Executioner has machine guns against infantry. 4 medium lasers, and 3 large pulse lasers for long distance. Variant B has medium laser, PPC, Ultra Autocannon 20, and AMS, or anti-missile system. The anti-missile system was used to destroy missiles before they hit their target. This was accomplished by using a short-ranged rapid-firing weapon which shot at the missiles. The Grendel, also known as Mongrel, is a very fast striker with 7-11-7 movement. Prime variant has several direct-fire weapons and a Streak SRM-6 missile system. Variant A has less direct-fire weapons, but it uses an LRM-15 that hits hard. Variant B only has direct-fire weapons, mostly energy weapons, and an Ultra Autocannon 5. The Mad Cat, also known as Timber Wolf, is a 75-ton brawler with 580 movement. People say that it received its name in the inner sphere because mech computers could not identify if it was a marauder mech designated as Mad or a catapult mech designated as Cat. Prime variant is very heat-neutral and equipped with a wide assortment of long and short-range weapons and direct fire and missile weapons. Variant A incorporates Streak missiles and PPC, and Variant B uses missile systems with Artemis 4 to improve accuracy, and a dangerous Gauss rifle, dangerous for the enemies, of course. The Black Hawk, also known as Nova, is a tough mech. Prime variant has enough armor to withstand a frontal attack using its 12 medium lasers, a pure energy mech. That combined with 585 movement is a lethal combination. Variant A has less firepower, but includes AMS systems. Variant B adds machine guns and Ultra Autocannon 5. All variants use direct fire weapons. Now that we have covered all mechs from those 3 boxes, it is important to know that the roles described here are not absolute. For example, scouts are good as a cheap space filler bug that can get in some spotting and a backstab or two, but if you bring one to a straight fight, it's going to get squashed. If you bring lots of bug mechs to a straight fight, your opponent will hate you because it slows the game down. Where scouts really shine is objective play and more narrative-based games. Either give them something useful to do that isn't fighting or set force-building limits so that they're not forced to fight the big boys. These roles are guidelines, not hard and fast rules. Some mechs can do more than one role decently enough, and others can change roles based on what else is on the field and the exact situation. A tactic to use juggernauts is to treat them like a spear tip. Drive them into and through the enemy line, but make sure you use that opening to follow up with your brawlers and heavy guns. Strikers and skirmishers are often interchangeable. Use both for hit and run attacks while the target is focused on your jugs and brawlers. Try to flank the enemy's gun line and threaten their support, but don't be afraid to gamble with them if you have to. Sacrificing a 45-ton mech is a lot better than saving it and losing your heavy hitter. Unless they have tag or other special gear, scout mechs are kind of useless on the map as anything but a distraction and a hidden knife to back in the late game. If you're playing a low-points game with lots of light mechs, then scouts can come in handy. Otherwise, keep them out of line of sight until your opponent discounts them as a threat, then use them for fast backstab attacks very late in the game. Mechs can fill multiple roles depending on their lance mates and the BV or tonnage of the game, so roles are described for reference only. Now that you have reached this point, it seems the best moment to like the video and subscribe to this channel, as well as having your comments about your experience with mech roles and how useful is this video for you to pick mechs and variants of mechs, as well as the weapons used for each mech. As usual, it has been a privilege to have wonderful people like you watching this video, and I expect to see you soon watching another video in the future. Have a wonderful day.